3 years, 3 episodes, 3 chances to find the perfect solution to combat spicy food. And this year, I think we've done it. Tremble in fear, all your restaurants with hot wing challenges. The theorists are going to be coming to dominate your walls of fame. After today's episode, I promise that you'll be equipped to handle nearly anything they can throw at you, no matter how high those chefs crank up the heat. That said, can science actually stand up to the ultimate test? The moment when the hottest thing in spicy food turns cold.
Oh no, that was such a small amount.
Strap in. Here's the ride. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, the only show that tries to be spicy, but is actually just a bit bitter. Bitter about never making it onto Hot Ones, that is.
It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings.
If you've been following our spicy saga over the last 3 years, then you're well aware that I've been recreating my own science-based version of the series in an attempt to train up for the day that I'm finally invited to meet my unrequited internet love, Sean Evans. The premise of the show is simple. Sean eats spicy wings and does in-depth interviews of all the hottest Hollywood celebrities, and the occasional YouTuber when they need to fill out the guest list. And yet my attempt to copy him in a legally unenforceable way has been unnoticed, ignored. I am Hello Neighbor, he is my Matt Pat. So you know what? Who needs him? Today we ascend. In this, our final part of the spicy food trilogy, we're not limiting ourselves to his show's signature sauce, The Last Dab. No, we're getting hotter. We're going more extreme than the Scoville scale. The final boss of today's episode requires a waiver and passing not just one, but 2 separate spice tolerant tests in order to even buy it. It is without question the single spiciest bite of food I've ever consumed. Heck, if you take a bite of this that's the size of a grain of rice, your mouth is gonna be feeling it for the next 20 minutes. This right here, this is the concluding chapter to the trilogy. There's no better way to go out than to go big. Before we get there though, we gotta come in prepared as possible. And that means another series of spicy solutions that need to be tested. Hopefully you've seen the previous episodes in our quest to find the perfect spice solution, but if not, link is in the top right corner of the description, or I can just catch you up right now. Overall, we all know the general stuff that you're supposed to do. Drink milk, eat bread, don't drink water, all that sort of good stuff. But I've been convinced that there are better, smarter, more effective science-based solutions out there. I don't just want to cool those flavor flames, I want to extinguish them. And so, using both your suggestions and our research, Steph and I have been putting them to the test. We've seen some good ones, we've seen some bad ones, and we've seen some really bad ones.
F. Negative F, what is wrong with you?
In general, we've learned that the perfect spice solutions try to check off as many boxes on this list. They've got to be cold, they got to be sweet, and they got to be thick with as many C's as possible. They're also ideally full of dairy, which contains casein, a protein that's able to dissolve capsaicin, the molecules in food that make it spicy. Lastly, the ideal spice solution is acidic. You see, capsaicin on the pH scale is basic, so counteracting it with something acidic like lemon or lime juice is going to help neutralize the capsaicin that's lingering in your mouth. That right there, that is our list of must-haves. We've also learned to stay far away from anything that contains alcohol, which just activates the same TRPV1 receptors that capsaicin does in the mouth, irritating them in a very similar way. So far, our top spicy food solutions have been sweet lime simple syrup, a honey peanut butter mixture, and at the top of the heap, a cold custard milkshake specifically from our local ice cream chain, Good Berries. All of them are good, each checking off 2 or 3 of the qualities on our list, but none of them are truly great, especially when up against the toughest and spiciest contenders. See also our reactions from last year.
I'm gonna just try real quick, I did this last time too, just so we could get a sense of what the flavor of this thing tastes like alone.
It tastes like fire. What do you mean?
Oh.
The flavor. It tastes like charcoal and fire.
So without further ado, it's time for things to get spicy. Let's set up this test. Yes, my friends, this is the final episode in our trilogy of spicy food challenge solution episodes.
Bet your sweet Bippy.
Until next year when we decide to reboot the whole thing. So what are we actually testing here today? Well, we are testing a combination of solutions that you've submitted over the last year. We're also testing a combination of things that we have researched ourselves, like new solutions. There's some returning favorites from past years. Basically, this is the epic Super Smash Bros. Crossover episode of all your favorite spicy food solutions. But only one will be able to walk away as the supreme leader of spicy food solutions.
Which may be more than I can say for myself. I may not walk away from this episode. I may just peel off the chair at some point.
Yeah, there will be 1 winner today and 2 losers, and those losers are the 2 of us.
Oh yeah.
So the layout for this episode is basically the same, but this year with a little bit of a twist. So we have assembled a solution of 7 different spicy food solutions that you guys have submitted. We're gonna put them to the test against a base level of spicy wing, and then we're gonna take our favorite of those solutions and put them up against the final boss of this episode, the Hot Ones Last Dab Apollo sauce.
Oh,
but then, my friends, there's actually something hotter than that.
I'm sorry,
There's something that's even more sinister, even more creative,
I like how I'm not consulted or informed about something that we're having that's hotter than the thing that melted my face off last year.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It is hotter, it is more sinister, it throws all sorts of monkey wrenches into the works, and it is something that I've been trying to get Stephanie to test out for years.
Oh, no.
So now that she's stuck on camera with me, she's forced to do it with me, with all the spicy food solutions available to us.
Oh, I know what this is. You
Figured it out. So join us, friends, as we go about our spicy food journey. Just wish us luck. Prepare yourself, your bowels, and your napkins. Bring out the wings, my friends. Bring out the wings. I am hungry and need to feed.
That's weird.
That was weird. Round number 1, perfume? Okay, so it's probably best to give this one a bit of explaining. This may sound like a really weird choice, but it's actually coming from a pretty reliable source. Hot Ones themselves, or at least the wider First We Feast team. You see, back in 2020, the team posted on Facebook this video of how sniffing perfume could help you lessen the burn of drinking alcohol.
So sniff it, and then take the shot. That worked. You don't feel it.
Obviously, we're eating spicy food and not downing shots, but alcohol activates the same TRPV1 receptors that capsaicin does, irritating them in a very similar way. So if it's good enough for a drink, maybe it's good enough for a spicy wing?
Yeah, no, I don't see this. There's no way that this one works, right? Because at the end of the day,
That this isn't an issue of flavor, right? You're smelling stuff, which is changing your perception of the flavor.
there's an actual chemical reaction that's happening in your mouth where pain receptors are being activated. So no amount of smell or perceptual change is going to affect the fact that this chemical reaction is happening in your tongue. There's no chance. Right?
I'm inclined to agree with you, but we've been really surprised on episodes of Food Theory before about things that work and things that don't work.
Yeah.
And frankly, I gotta lay it on the line here. I have to go into this with some level of optimism because otherwise, we have 6 rounds in front of us and I might not make it.
All right, so I guess the question is then, are you going with Le Jardin de Monsieur Lee, or are you going with...
Unlabeled bottle that I got several years ago. Okay, ready?
Ready, Dink? What are you doing? What you doing?
Quick note, we realized early on that these wings weren't going to be hot enough to get good data for the test. So we paused and resauced the wings, only to then overshoot the mark and make them a wee bit too spicy. I guess spicier is better than nothing. Anyway, it was time to restart the test with a respray. I was assuming Steph would spray the perfume on her wrist or maybe her chest, but instead she went with the much more unconventional option.
I still, no need to respray though, I smell it.
Oh, that was in my eyes. Oh, why? Why? That was in my eyes. Go, 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 go.
Water.
This is a lot hotter. The perfume is doing nothing except providing a very confusing
Smell my
experience.
wrist. Smell my wrist. Is it helping?
No.
Is it helping?
Maybe. It's very sweet. It distracts me. It's worse. It's worse when I'm not smelling your wrist. It legitimately is worse when you're not directly smelling the perfume.
I can tell you right now, the reason for this is twofold. One is it's distracting you from the heat in your mouth. 2, though, the air isn't passing through your mouth. There's that impulse to breathe through your mouth and be like, I want to breathe out the heat. But instead, it's forcing you to breathe through your nose, which actually makes it feel better. Like, talking to you right now is literal agony for me. I hate every word that's coming out of my mouth because I'm literally breathing flames. But when I do this, it still burns. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you still feel it, but it's
not the
less
best.
sharp. So in terms of, like, solutions, low, but effective.
Yeah.
It's not a net negative. It's not nothing, but it's low. So let's move through this. Let's do another one.
Yeah, let's go.
Round number 2! Nose plugs. The general idea here is the same as round number 1, which is like, hey, if you can't smell what you're eating, is it gonna make it better? Again, I don't think that this is gonna do a whole lot because, as we saw with the last round, it's not so much about the smell as it is about where the airflow is going and being distracted from the burning that's happening in your mouth.
I actually think this is going to make it worse because it's going to force us to breathe through our mouth, and that's actually the worst place you could breathe through in this circumstance.
You know, I think as we're pursuing new merch options for our fall or even winter launch,
Oh.
I feel the Food Theory nose plug might be a worthwhile endeavor. All right, here we go. Huh.
weird.
No way.
It's not doing anything. It's literally not doing. Like if you compare our reaction last time
Oh my god, I'm
to
fine.
where we are now, I'm fine.
Oh my god, I'm fine.
This is insane. This is shocking to me. Here, wait. I want to try another bite.
I can't believe this. I'm not supposed to not say anything in these reactions, but I'm actually like speechless. I can't believe this worked. The only place I feel it is all the way in the back of my palate.
Right now, I'm feeling it in the back of my throat.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it like around the edge where I got sauce here.
Yeah. But the
I'm
middle
not-
of my mouth is actually totally
Yeah,
fine.
my tongue, which is where last round
Wow.
I was feeling it and
I
it
was
was
dying.
miserable. Yeah,
I
it
was
awful. I'm fine. Like
Wow.
I could go back in and do multiple bites of this. at this point.
This is not the result I expected at all.
This is wild.
I'm holding this on here for my own benefit at this point. It's
game
so
changing.
much less spicy. It's not completely not spicy.
No.
But we're talking.
Yeah.
We're functioning normally. I'm not falling off my chair right now. This is amazing.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the sort of visceral reaction of like I'm crying right now or like oh my gosh I'm breathing fire right now. I feel it, and I definitely feel it in my like soft palate, back of my throat, back of everything.
Dude, you go into these episodes, we expect
This is
zero of these things to work. We expect to be miserable the entire time. This one
This
one
wild.
works.
This is unbelievable.
Dude, this works.
This might be the single most effective solution of any that we've done
ever
across
had.
these three.
I can't believe that.
I am dumbfounded by
I know.
this.
I also, like you, thought that, like, hey, this is a chemical reaction happening in my tongue. Breathing or smelling is not going to affect this, but it totally does. My mouth feels warm.
Yeah, I feel
It doesn't feel like super happy, but I'm fine.
Yeah, I could tell that I would be feeling an uncomfortable amount of spice
Yeah.
if I would let myself.
Yeah.
But the fact that for whatever, I don't know again if I'm focused on.
It's just keeping a lid on.
Yeah, it's dampened it significantly. So, VO Matt Pat, after this episode, after we're done here and all this misery is over with,
Wow.
look this up and tell everyone what the science is here, because I don't know. This is blowing my mind.
This is incredible.
I got your back there, live action Matt Pat. As we're all familiar with at this point, the sensation of flavor is actually a combination of taste and smell. This happens because as you chew, you force air through your nasal passages. These food odors are detected by receptor proteins on hair-like cilia at the top of the sensory cells in your nerves, which then send messages to the brain. Even though it's a chemical reaction taking place on your tongue and not a matter of flavor, the conflicting messages being sent to your brain seem to be enough to override the stimulus of the capsaicin. Now, this isn't something that totally prevents the feeling of spice, but even smelling capsaicin can irritate the mucous membranes in your nose, thereby leading to an increased perception of spice when you eat. So, by plugging our noses, it lessened the overall sensation of the spicy food. We also have some taste buds in the soft palate of our mouths, which explains why I was still feeling some burning back in that area, but when it came to our tongues, the lack of smelling seemed to completely dampen any spicy feelings. Round number 3! I'm excited about this one. Key lime pie.
This one goes out to Tyler Williams of Tyler and Sophia Nygaard and his love of key lime pie.
This was something that was suggested multiple times by you guys, the audience. And the rationale for this one makes a lot of sense, right? In past episodes of this series that we've done, we found that lime simple syrup worked really well because there was something about the citrus and also something about the sweetness that would help dull and kind of lessen the pain that you're feeling in your mouth.
Key lime pie actually takes it to another level by introducing dairy, and milk is a very common antidote for spicy food. So maybe by getting the lime, the sugar, and the dairy all in there in the same bite, we stand a good chance of fighting off these very intense now things.
And you've got like a bread substance in here. So really, this seems pretty darn primed to be like a great solution.
This should be grade A.
Okay, I'm gonna lick the fingers for that extra spice. Oh man, doing it again really reinforces how much the nose plugs did. They did a really good job, man.
I don't want to put them in there at the same time. I haven't finished chewing this.
What? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? It disappeared. One thing I didn't think about going into this was there's a fifth thing that this plays into that we didn't think about, which is viscosity. When year 2, I believe it was, we discovered that viscosity is something that's thick, like peanut butter, or again, thick like that lime simple syrup, that's able to linger and kind of permeate everywhere and melt everywhere. It's almost like you want some sort of like salve or gel to deaden the heat and deaden the burning. This has that too.
Ooh, it does
everywhere.
come back. It does come back as soon as
No, you know how they tell you to like smother the flames and put blankets over it and like tamp it out?
This is effectively that. If you're not on the key lime pie train, highly recommend. We were missing out for years. Don't be like us.
I thought that we had kind of like figured it out and we're like, oh, I guess this is as good as you're gonna get when it comes to spicy food.
No.
But no, this is great.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. This delicious viscous discus, a key lime pie, is in a league of its own. And it makes a lot of sense. It checks all of the boxes that we talked about at the top of the episode. We've got acid from the lime component, sweetness and fat from the graham cracker crust, and the cool temperature of the pie itself provides a soothing sensation. To add on to all of that, it also has condensed milk, which is just boiled down milk with sugar. And on top of that sugar, it also has even more added sugar in the recipe. Sugar honestly did us a big favor here. This is because sugar directly works by neutralizing the effects of capsaicin. Some theorize that it's thanks to its ability to suppress the bitter compounds found in capsaicin, but that's just a theory. Oh, boop! We aren't there yet. But needless to say, this and nose plugs are two of the best spice solutions we've ever tried. Round number 4!
I gotta say, I love this episode. Frozen chocolate.
I'm feeling really good going into this round. My mouth is not on fire. My lips haven't fallen off yet. I'm so excited, and I don't think chocolate is a bad contender, to tell you the truth.
You're not wrong there, Steph. Now, chocolate has a few things going for it. In this case, it's frozen, so we're gonna get a bit of a temperature relief there. It's also sweet and full of fats, both of which are gonna be working wonders on the spice. When it comes to fat, capsaicin's considered lipophilic, which is just a fancy way of saying that it gets absorbed by fat. So the more fat that's stuffed into our chocolate, the better it's gonna be. And since chocolate's essentially just milk and sugar, it also contains small amounts of casein, which is that protein in milk that helps you wash away the oil-based capsaicin molecules floating around your mouth when you eat spicy food. That's why today we're focused on using milk chocolate specifically.
I love this episode already.
I know.
After round 1, I'm like, oh no, we have made a horrific mistake by overspicing these wings. But the fact that we're sitting here at round number 4 and doing fine,
We're in it to win it, man.
we are in it to win it.
Yes.
Haven't even broken a sweat.
Man, I love chicken wings so much, and I never get to enjoy them on this episode.
Ready?
I'm there.
Double. Ooh, chocolate.
This is working. 5 out of 10. I don't know.
One part of it is definitely from the cold. The other part of it, I'm assuming, is from the creaminess of the chocolate. But I will say, it is not dulling the spice nearly as much as the previous rounds.
No.
As soon as it's out, like, it's coming back full force. It's not weakening it at all.
Yeah.
Woo! All
great.
right.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm starting to sweat now. Oh! Next round.
Let's do it.
Round number 5. Frozen lemonade milkshake thing. This is, again, my favorite episode of this series.
I feel like we have a whole bunch of winners as opposed to last time when it was so clear that we had a ton of losers.
By this point last time, we wanted to die. By this time, I actually still kind of want to die because we're consuming a lot of dessert very quickly.
I still don't feel great, but I feel better than last time, and we've yet to eject anything into a bucket next to us, which at this point is saying a lot.
The concept of this one should probably make sense to you at this point, right? It's got ice cream, it's got citrus, it's got dairy in there, and it's cold.
It has a potential to be a step up from the key lime pie in the sense that it's colder. The key lime pie was like sort of generally refrigerator temperature, but this is freezer temperature, and colder is almost always better in these situations.
One of the things that you keep hearing us say in these first couple rounds, right? It's like, oh, it's in the back of my throat. Oh, it's in the back of my throat. Oh, it's in the back of my throat. This right here, as we did in our brain freeze episode, anything with a straw is shooting it straight to your back of your throat there. This might be the best solution for that area. Let's do it. Round number 5. It continues. Frozen lemonade dessert drink. How you doing? It is super tasty.
It's a little icy. It's a little bit less creamy.
It is less creamy than I would have thought. Taking a bite out of a pretty structurally sound key lime pie,
Yeah.
it's able to just hang out there until you decide to chew it, right? It's not melting, it's not going away. This, as soon as I get it in, I feel myself having to reapply it. Like I feel like I have to move it around a bunch because it's constantly melting, turning to liquid and running around. This is good. It's definitely our, I would say like, second best of the food solutions.
Yeah.
But it is not quite up to par with the key lime.
This one was actually kind of a surprise for us. Highly viscous options have always been the ones topping our charts, so we figured that since lemon juice did really well at neutralizing spice, by adding sugar, ice, and everything nice, we'd have ourselves a spicy food killing machine. But instead, we found that the frozen part of the lemonade just didn't cool us down as much as the pie, because it just immediately turned into water. And as we all know, water and capsaicin don't mix. So as soon as the soothing sensation of the cold went away, the spice kicked the door back in and washed itself around our mouth and made it right back home in our tongues.
Round number 6, ketchup. I like that you gave us spoons, so we could just take a big old spoonful of ketchup. Wonderful. Let's go. Oh, this sucks. So, does this make it worse for you? It makes it worse, right?
It's worse. It's worse, it's worse, it's worse, it's worse.
This one is just a prank, right guys? It has to be. There was no way that this could be used by anybody as a spice solution. At least no one apart from Shaggy and Scooby.
Here you go, dude.
Trying to dull spice using ketchup, about the same level of pain that I got from watching Velma. Who would have figured that a movie starring a crime-fighting dog wouldn't adhere to proper scientific principles? Unfortunately, while the acidity of the tomato and vinegar, along with the sweetness of the sugar, should have helped to soothe us, capsaicin is hydrophobic, meaning that it doesn't bind to water-based solutions like ketchup. So all of those ingredients pretty much did diddly squat other than to make us suffer more.
What goes up must come down, friendos. And after 6 rounds, we were flying high for a while. But you knew it wouldn't be a food theory episode without it crashing and burning
Oh,
at
we've
some
just been
point before
kicked to the basement, friends.
That's a rough note to go off of here as we go into the final boss round, which is the last dab. But that's where we're leading to next. I would say ketchup will not be making it into that final round.
Speaking of that final round, there's no use putting it off. It's time for the last dab.
Final boss time right there. We faced this puppy last time, and boy howdy, the smell is back. I'd forgotten the smell.
It is literally just like charcoal and ash and death. So in previous years, we've been able to control the amount of last dab that we're actually ingesting. This year, we've got a good, solid slather going on.
There's a reason you don't toss the wings in the last dab sauce.
It's a last dab, not a last toss.
I'm sorry.
But even though we were facing down a monumental challenge, I wasn't as nervous as I usually am. This time we came prepared with all the heavy hitters. Obviously, our winners from year 1 and 2, a lime simple syrup, a peanut butter honey mix, and a peanut butter milkshake from our local ice cream shop, Good Berries. But we also threw in this year's 2 top contenders, key lime pie, and shocking literally everyone, nose plugs.
All right, do you want to add an additional dab to your already tossed wing? So strap in, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to test some spicy food solutions. Maybe there's a reason Sean Evans doesn't want us on his show. Okay, there you go. Just like last year, I can't taste the flavor as much this year.
There is no flavor. The flavor is burning.
I don't know why this
It
protects your tongue.
It
Why does
negates
protect
the
your
whole
tongue?
front part of your mouth. It's crazy. It's actually nuts. All right, I'm gonna go in with the peanut butter milkshake now.
But I am actually shockingly fine just from this alone. I could go into any of these right now to cool a little bit of what's happening here.
I'm actually gonna take this off to give these other ones a fair test. Wow, it just comes back. It's so weird. Give it a sec, and it pushes forward slowly across your tongue.
Oh, that is
It is
bizarre.
so weird.
That is so weird. Why does that work?
It's so much hotter. It's so much hotter.
Yep. So, now that I've done them, this, fine, but this was year 1. We've grown.
Yeah, this is fine.
We
This is
evolved.
mid.
This is mid. This is solid.
This is top tier. Key lime pie. Does a really nice job.
It does a real good job. So this is better because it's a little bit colder. This is better because it's not liquid, and so it's able to sit on the heat, and again, acting like a blanket, basically tamping out or smothering out the fire that's going on in your mouth. At this point, I feel really good about being able to handle the spicy food here.
I know exactly where to go for an antidote, and for little spice babies like me, that's crucial.
And again, remember, this is a wing tossed in this stuff.
Yeah.
And then with an additional, you had like 2 dabs. I had 5 on mine. And last year, it won't stop, Steph.
No, it's really
It won't stop.
It's really bad.
The only reason we're feeling spice now, or at least the bulk of the spice, is because we took this off. So this plus these other ones, you're golden. It took us
Yes!
3 years, but I think we finally dialed in the optimal solution here. You ain't got nothing, Apollo Sauce.
Get out of here.
You have done your last dab. So we've bested the final boss here, but there is another one that's lurking in the wings.
Was that a pun? In the wings?
Oh! So there is one food that Stephanie and I have bonded over since the very beginning of our relationship. So for those of you who don't know, Stephanie grew up in a town that has one stoplight and not a whole lot happens.
But there is one thing it has going for it, which is the world's best ice cream shop. People come from like 50 miles around to go to this ice cream shop, which is called Sunny Skies. It's run by a guy who has 2 kids named Sunny and Skylar. Yeah, it's that cute. And they're the home of the world's like first famous spice cream.
One shop has created a bizarre new flavor designed to warm you up. It's known as Cold Sweat, and it is rumored to be one of the spiciest sweets on the planet. This spice cream is made with 3 kinds of chili peppers and 2 of the hottest hot sauces known to man. This is basically a bucket of fire right here. The ice cream base itself is seasoned with even more hot sauce. Half an hour in the batch freezer turns our fire to ice, and it is about to get hotter.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Cold Sweat. This stuff is so intense you have to sign a waiver in order to even taste test it.
They won't let you buy a scoop of it until you have fully taste tested it and come through and been like, yeah, I actually want a scoop of that.
There are actually 3 layers of protection around this stuff, right? First off, you gotta sign the waiver, say, all right, I'm on board. Secondly, they give you what's called the grain of rice test, where they literally give you a piece the size of a grain of rice. And you would think, oh, it's a grain of rice, what's the big deal? It will linger in your mouth for no less than 15 to 25 minutes. I went to the store the other day to get this in preparation for this test.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please don't make me actually do the final test, which is the 3 pepper test. They give you a spoonful with all 3 peppers present, and you gotta take it. But at this point, we've done Last Dab, we've done all these spice solutions. I feel like I should be better. I did the rice the other day, the grain of rice size, just to buy this, and I'm like, oh no, this is just as hot as I remembered it. They actually came up with a new flavor that's even a level above this called Exit Wound, which I think honestly is a fun name, but not nearly as fun as what I would have called it, Freezer Burn.
Matthew's been saying this for years. I agree, it's a missed opportunity.
I'll do the 3 pepper thing. Oh wow, just did it.
Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, no. Oh, no.
So
That was such a small amount.
So not only is this incredibly hot and incredibly spicy,
Oh, man.
from a textural standpoint, it sucks because it's frozen peppers, and frozen peppers are just nasty. Okay.
Okay.
Nope, I'm feeling okay. I'm banning that. Oh, and there it comes. I thought that years of me doing spicy food challenges would make me like, oh yeah, this is nothing. I clearly overestimated this when I was younger. Nope.
While any of these are in your mouth, they really do help.
Mm-hmm.
They really, really do. The problem with this ice cream, and I don't know exactly what it is or how they've gotten it to this level of potency, but every time anyone we know has tried even a little bit, they say that it lasts. And that's the problem. It just becomes relentless, and it doesn't like last in just like, oh, it's a little tickle in the back of your throat. My throat is burning.
So there you have it, friends. If you truly want like a one-of-a-kind, unbeatable, weirdly hot experience, Cold Sweat or Exit Wound from Angier, North Carolina, of all things. That is a flavor experience that you're never going to replicate.
Thanks there, live action Matt Pat. I'll take it from here. And with that, we're finally able to finish our tier list. Our top tier pick from before, Milkshake, is now bested by the absolute outstanding key lime pie. In the A tier, we have peanut butter and honey. Our B tier is a whole lot of citrus with frozen lemonade, lime syrup, lemon juice, sugar water, and ice cubes. Our C, D, and E tiers have stayed relatively the same, except with the addition of perfume in D. And the worst things to ever use as spice chasers, rounding off the list, are vodka, mouthwash, and ketchup. Seriously, I'd rather guzzle the Last Dab than try any one of those again. I'd rather bathe in Cold Sweat. I don't even know if I'm talking about the ice cream or the bodily fluid. But of them all, one unexpected solution reigns supreme. In a league all of its own, nose plugs. A solution that is so powerful that it silenced the all-powerful Last Dab sauce. It may not be glamorous wearing nose plugs in a restaurant, but I ask you, what looks less dignified? This or this?
Wait a minute, Stephanie, what if we do cold ones? Cold ice creams, even colder, harder truths. Sean Evans, you're my Mr. Incredible, and I am your Syndrome. Cold ones coming to a Food Theory channel soon.
So there you have it, folks. Over the course of these 3 episodes, we've tested over 20 different spice solutions. And now we are done. No more. Nuh-uh. My stomach ain't taking this anymore. I'm not doing this again. Till, of course, it gets the inevitable reboot next year. All good trilogies do. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bon appetit. And hey, have you ever wondered if all this extreme spicy food can kill you? Well, I looked into it, and that answer is on screen right now. Click the video on the left if you're interested in spicing up your life. Or if you're interested in just how far smell can affect your sense of flavor, that video's on the right. We did a really fascinating experiment for that one. And with that, my friends, I'm off to have a very unpleasant trip to the bathroom. I will see you next week if I make it.
Conclusion that we need a fan base name. Hello everybody. So I've been thinking, and I've come to the conclusion that we need a fan base name. So from now on, you guys are gonna be the Pixlets. What's up, Pixlet Nation? Today in this video, we're gonna be ranking fruits. Because that's what I do now, I guess. As you can see, behind me, I have a tier list, and I'm going to be organizing 50 different fruits on this tier list based on their accuracy as a fruit. Now, you probably have a few questions. Pixel, what does it mean if a fruit is accurate? How do you determine the accuracy of a fruit? Why are your magnets so degraded, and why is the L in upside down 7? I'm working on it, man. No, a fruit's accuracy is determined by like vibes. Like how much does it like feel like a fruit? I don't know. Like an apple, that's a fruit. But like a tomato, that's a fruit, but that's not a fruit. So without further ado, let's get into my most flavorful video yet and rank fruits by their accuracy. Obviously, we're gonna start with the apple, the poster child of all fruits. I think this feels the most like a fruit out of any fruit ever. It's the fruitiest fruit to ever fruit, so it has to be S tier. They come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. You have red apples, green apples, yellow apples. You probably have blue apples. I mean, you have blue bananas. Did you know there's blue bananas? I didn't know there were blue bananas, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's blue apples. But regardless, an apple feels the most like a fruit than anything on this list. One fruit that I would argue is as important as apple is the pear. In fact, I'd be willing to put it alongside the apple in S tier. The problem is that I don't think most people would agree with that. And it's not that this tier list is based on the general opinion. In fact, I think you're gonna disagree horrendously with most of what I have to say. It's that I just feel like I have to bend to the populace this one time, but just this once. So pear gets A tier. Okay, those are two like very fruity fruits. I wanna throw a wrench into the mix, and let's do coconut next. Coconut. Cocoa nut. You're telling me that's a fruit? And it gets worse because what you eat inside of it isn't called the flesh. As weird as I think it is to call what you eat inside a fruit the flesh of the fruit, that's not what you call a coconut. What you eat from a coconut is called the meat. What? I guess that's like somewhat related to the word flesh, but it feels so much worse for some reason. But wait, there's more because these things don't have juice, they have water? Cocoa nut that you eat the meat from and drink the water from? That's not a fruit. F tier. They're also hairy and hard as a rock. I could go on and on about coconut, but we don't have time. Let's move on. Pulling it back a little, we have grapes. These feel like a fruit. Not as much as an apple, obviously, but I think I'd be willing to put them in S tier. It's just that they can get turned into wine, and wine doesn't really feel like the product of a fruit. Additionally, there's just something missing from them to give them the same fruitiness that apple and pear have. However, my personal feelings for them override that, so I'm gonna put them in A tier. What about peaches? I think the only part of these that doesn't feel like a fruit is the pit in the middle. But that's not enough to discount it, and everything else about them feels so strongly like a fruit that I'm gonna give it S tier. It's sweet, it's soft, and it's fuzzy, which is a weird trait, but it kind of works for me. Cherries are another really solid pick. As much as I don't like cherry-flavored things, cherries themselves are pretty fruity. Not as much as a peach or an apple, but about as much as grapes, I would say. So I'm gonna give cherries A tier. Okay, let's talk about what you probably clicked on this video for. There are some fruits that are technically fruits, that are socially classified as vegetables, but they almost kind of feel like fruits. I think the most obvious example of this is the tomato, right? Like this is a vegetable, but it's not a vegetable. But it feels like a vegetable, but it also feels like a fruit. I think tomato is the example that gets brought up the most when you say, hey, did you know that this is actually a fruit? And so because of that, I think I'd actually put it pretty high on the list, like maybe even in B tier. The problem, again, is that most people don't consider tomato a fruit. Even when people say, hey, did you know that tomato is technically a fruit? People still kind of reject that idea and classify it as a vegetable. And I can't deny that it does give off vegetable vibes in a way. So I'm gonna put it in C tier just because it kind of feels like it's in the middle. I'd love to put it higher, but just because of social pressure put on the tomato, it doesn't feel as much like a fruit as it should. So really, this is your guys' fault. I wanted to put him higher. I'm a supporter of tomato. But because you guys just want to keep them in a box, this is where he has to go. Bell peppers feel similar to tomatoes, but they're less regarded as a fruit than tomato is. However, they don't necessarily feel like a vegetable either. I'm gonna put these in C tier as well. It's not approaching vegetable enough for me, but it's also not approaching fruit as much as tomato is. But I don't think it's deserving of D tier. What I do think is deserving of D tier is the chili pepper. Now, the thing is, it's not in D tier because it feels like a vegetable more than a fruit. It just doesn't feel like it belongs in either category. Bell pepper is in C tier because it feels more like a vegetable than a fruit, but chili pepper is in D tier not because it feels more like a vegetable, just because it feels less like a fruit. Now I want to look at the inverse of these. Fruit that is considered a fruit that feels more like a vegetable. The first of these is the avocado. I wouldn't be willing to deny that this is a fruit, but I also don't really feel like it's a fruit. Something about the texture, both the inside and outside texture, does not communicate fruit vibes to me. Also, like, guacamole does not feel like a fruit product. Like, when you mash up a fruit, you get juice. You don't get guacamole. C tier. Then we got olives, and I couldn't find a lot of images of these where they weren't attached to leaves. And you're gonna tell me that that's a fruit? Fruits and vegetables both feel like plants. We're not gonna deny that. But I will say that vegetables feel like they belong on a plant more than a lot of fruits do. So the fact that olives are so closely correlated, I mean, I know why, right? You extend the olive branch or whatever. But the fact that olives are so closely linked to the plant itself makes it hard for me to make them feel like a fruit. It's not just that, though. It's also just kind of the vibe of them doesn't really feel like a fruit. They just smell and taste like a vegetable. And I haven't tried a lot of the fruits on this list, so I'm not trying to let taste interfere with where I rank them. But for olives, it feels just like it's a knock against them. D tier. They feel about as much like a fruit as chili peppers do. Eggplant is not a fruit. I don't care what the scientists say, that's not a fruit. I mean, if anything, it feels like a squash, and squash does not feel like a fruit. I guess I might as well do squash. Squash is F tier. Squash does not feel like a fruit in the slide. That is a vegetable if I've ever seen one. And so eggplant feels a little bit less like a squash, but not enough for me to rank it anywhere higher than D tier. Like, it feels like squash if squash was trying a little, like a knockoff squash. Also, the name, I already mentioned that plants feel like they belong more with vegetables than fruits, but also eggplant? What a strange name for something that's not even closely related to eggs. I just realized we don't have anything in B tier. So let's fix that. You guys might kill me, but I've never had a persimmon before. Persimmons feel like a fruit through and through. There's not really anything about them that's making me feel like they deserve to go low on the list. The problem is that they haven't really established themselves as a fruit as much as anything in A or S tier. So B tier. Okay, what about melons? Well, let's start with cantaloupe. If you handed me a bowl of cantaloupe, firstly, I'd praise you for the savior that you are, and then secondly, I would definitely acknowledge that it's a fruit. It's bright orange, it's super squishy and juicy, and it's really sweet. And that feels like a fruit, a lot. The thing is that the outside of them does not resemble a fruit at all. It looks like not even a vegetable. I don't even know what that looks like. They say not to judge a book by its cover, but I'm gonna judge a book by its cover. I love cantaloupe, but I gotta keep it in check, and I think that it deserves B tier just because of how it looks. Kind of in the same boat, you have honeydew. The thing is, it doesn't look like a fruit on the inside as much as a cantaloupe does. It has the same texture and juiciness that cantaloupe does, but it's green. And also, it tastes slightly more vegetable-y than a cantaloupe. What am I talking? Look at what's behind me right now. What am I talking? It's so similar to cantaloupe, but it just feels like a step down. So I'm gonna put it in C tier. The most melony melon of them all is watermelon. Right out the gate, watermelon is A tier. Does it look like a fruit on the inside? Absolutely. Does it look like a fruit on the outside? No, it looks more like a vegetable, but cantaloupe doesn't even look like a vegetable, so I think that raises watermelon, if anything. That doesn't make any sense, but it feels like it's more in league with fruit as a concept than cantaloupe or honeydew is. Man, the logic on this list is just non-existent. I also want to acknowledge that watermelon-flavored things, as good as they taste, I mean, I love watermelon-flavored things, do not taste like watermelon. If you made me try like a watermelon-flavored lollipop and then said, point at the fruit that tastes like that, I wouldn't point at watermelon, but I would point at guava. That looks like it should taste like watermelon flavor. This is another one that I've never tried, but honestly, I think that's gonna help it here. It looks like something that tastes like watermelon flavor. And even the outside of it isn't something I'd 100% deny as being a fruit. A tier, because it almost feels more like a fruit than watermelon. I just don't think it goes anywhere near S tier. Pineapple does not look like a fruit. But despite that, I think it goes in A tier. Yeah, I'm biased. And yeah, pineapple might have bribed me a little. But it's an A tier because I said it's an A tier. What are you gonna do about it? Continuing the theme of tropical fruits, we have papayas. This one also just feels like a knockoff squash, but less so than eggplant, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. I think the name is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Papaya feels like a fruit name. It just kind of looks like a weird off-brand squash. Especially when compared to eggplant, I feel like the name alone just has to put it a tier above it. Mango is another fruity fruit. It's just a really solid pick when you're going for what a fruit might be. Both the inside and outside give off the vibe of a fruit. I think the fact that the outside of it is like a pretty intense gradient helps a lot. You got red, yellow, sometimes orange, and then green, and those are all fruit colors, and they're all present on the outside of this thing. Yeah, that's a fruit. A tier. Then we got kiwi. How did you end up here? Then we got kiwi. This is a strange one because its color and the inside of it doesn't feel like a fruit as much as it should to me, and the outside of it definitely doesn't feel like a fruit. But I'm in a forgiving mood, so I'll put kiwi in B tier. Even though it's brown and green and weirdly textured, I think its flavor and juiciness is enough to move it past everything over here. There's a fruit I've neglected to mention until now that you've probably noticed I've neglected to mention until now, and that fruit is, of course, banana. Banana is a fruit that I would be willing to put in the top 3. If you asked me to name the 3 most iconic fruit, I would give you apples, pears, and then banana, in that order. The thing is, when I take off my rose-tinted glasses, this doesn't look like a fruit on the inside or the outside. I don't know what I'd expect a fruit to look like, but when I get rid of all my nostalgia and bias, a banana doesn't emanate that. I'd be willing to put it in A tier, but banana next to mango, I feel like mango's way fruitier than banana is. But when I put it next to kiwi, that doesn't feel right either. So I have a solution. Banana tier. It's in between A tier and B tier. That's probably a pretty controversial take that banana isn't in A or S tier, but that's just how I feel. So how do I feel about something like orange? Yeah, that's a fruit. In fact, it's such a fruit that it might come close to beating apple. You're telling me they named a color after this thing? It was that important? Yeah, S tier. Not only does orange really feel like a fruit, but it also has such a unique presence among this roster. Nothing comes close to competing with it. It's such a unique and viable fruit that I think it just is absolutely deserving of S tier. While we're at it, we might as well do the other citrusy fruits, so let's do lemon and lime. I'm gonna get flamed for saying this, but these don't feel like fruits to me. I mean, they do, but not nearly as much as anything in S or A tier. And I think it comes down to their flavor. Lemon's more iconic as a fruit than lime, but it also is more sour than lime. And lime's less sour than lemon, but has a strange other taste in there that doesn't really feel like a fruity flavor. Say that 10 times fast. So I fully understand if you disagree with me on this, but lemon and lime are both B tier. It's mostly the flavor. And I guess if you really want to go there, I could also say that they look almost exactly like oranges on the inside, but just less fruity colors. I don't know. Grapefruit also looks like an orange, but I think I'm willing to put it higher than both lemon and lime. Grapefruit, but a grape is a fruit. So is it fruit? It's called It's called fruit, and you're telling me it's not gonna go in S tier? Does it look even remotely close to a grape? No. Does it taste even remotely close to a grape? No. Do I know why the hell they named it after grapes if neither of those things are true? No. So if someone could find that out for me, I'd appreciate it. Just the fact alone that it's named after a fruit and it still has fruit tacked on at the end, that's such an easy S tier. You're gonna look me in the eyes and tell me that grapefruit is not a fruit? Yeah, okay, buddy, and I'm from Mars. Seriously, don't tell anybody. Actually, while we're at it, let's cover all the other blank fruits. I've never had star fruit, and stars aren't fruit, but the name is just so, like, magical and wondrous that I feel like it deserves a high placement. I don't really know why it's shaped like that, but I don't really know that the shape discounts it from being a fruit all that much. And the texture certainly looks like a fruit. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Not that I feel strongly called to put it in A tier, but I just feel like it goes there. Then there's dragon fruit. This is not a fruit that came from Earth, right? This feels like a fruit, but it's just so alien and foreign and weird looking. Like, you do not need to be doing all that. Also, dragon fruit? It's just looking for attention at that point, and I'm not gonna give it to it, so B tier.
Hey guys, so since recording this video, I've actually tried dragon fruit because I'd never had it before recording this video, and I just want to say, I'm so disappointed. Like, it's not a bad taste, but for looking like that, it tastes so bland. I just, like, it's all glam, no flavor. There's nothing to it.
Then there's passion fruit, and I'm sure I've tried this before, one way or another, and I'm sure that it tastes like a fruit, and on the outside, it even looks like a fruit. But the inside looks disgusting. It looks like something laid eggs inside it, like a hive. It's nasty. It's so repulsive that even if it looks and tastes like a fruit, I don't want to grant it that title, so I'm gonna put it in D tier. I don't even want to look at it. It's so gross. Then we got cucumber. No. No. Corn is... Corn? No. Peas are also not fruits. Why are these all here? What are we doing? Pumpkins actually don't feel as much like a vegetable as I thought they would. That doesn't mean they don't feel like a vegetable. They really, really, really feel like a vegetable. But because I was just caught off guard by how I could, like, kind of see them as a fruit, I'm gonna put them in D tier. Like, squash feels more like a vegetable than a pumpkin. I think it's pumpkin pie, because you have apple pie, and huckleberry pie, and blueberry pie, and blackberry pie, and then pumpkin pie. That might just be the sole reason it's here. Okay, this one is placed where it is entirely on account of my own ignorance and stupidity. But next we have fig. How did I go 20 years of my life thinking these were green? If you had asked me a few months, hell, a week ago, what color figs are, I would have said green, both on the inside and outside. I had no clue they were purple and red. How did I go this long without knowing that? That's entirely my own fault, but because of that, I had expectations for fig that weren't met. And so, honestly, I'm gonna put it lower than I was going to originally, but at the same time, this looks way more fruity than what I envisioned, so I almost have to put it higher than where I was going to put it. I don't know what to do. I feel lost and betrayed, even though it's entirely my own fault. So fig gets C tier. Unlike figs, plums feel purple. The name even gives off kind of a fruity vibe, and the inside doesn't necessarily look non-fruity. It's just, like persimmons, they haven't established themselves as fruity enough for me. The standards are high around here. You gotta work hard, and plum just hasn't worked hard enough. B tier. I feel like lychee can't decide what it wants to do. It's like solid white on the inside, but it looks like a raspberry, but it's hard, and then for some reason there's just a bean in there. Similar to fig, I don't really know how to feel about this one, but unlike fig, it's not because I had certain expectations, I'm just surprised. C tier, I don't really know what to do with it. On the other hand, I do know what to do with dates, because those are a candlelit dinner at a nice restaurant. Not this wrinkled mess. This just looks like a raisin. That's not a fruit. I mean, yeah, you can't base your appearance off of another fruit when it's out in the sun for too long. You just can't do that. It feels like cheating. And despite the fact that it feels like cheating, it also just doesn't look like a fruit. D tier. D for date. Pomegranates are really good. I've been eating these since I was but a wee lad, and I love how they taste, and they feel like a fruit. The thing is, similar to banana, but not as harshly as banana, when I take off the rose-tinted glasses, something about them rubs me the wrong way. I can't identify what, it's just that something about them. doesn't feel like a fruit. So I'm gonna put them in B tier. It hurts me to do it, but I just feel like that's where they go. All right. It's berry time. Let's kick things off with blueberries, which, by the way, are blue. When I established that in the color video, I got so many comments saying, no, blueberries are purple because when you crush them up into yogurt or a smoothie or ice cream, they're purple. So let's follow that path of logic. You're telling me that if you crushed up a red apple and turned it into yellow apple juice, that you would look at that same red apple and tell me, yeah, that's a yellow apple. Can you see why I have trouble believing you? So I'm glad we agree. Blueberries are blue and they feel like a fruit. A tier. Let's move on. Raspberries are not spelled at all how they're pronounced, because what do you mean raspberries? But that doesn't really discount them from feeling as fruity as they do. A tier. Blackberries are raspberries, but if they had a different color and texture, but still felt as much like a berry. A tier. Cranberry is a berry that I'm very familiar with, but doesn't feel like it's as solid of a fruit pick as blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries. Yeah, it's a fruit, and I'm fully willing to acknowledge that it's a fruit, but it's just kind of an underdog when compared to these three. So because of that, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Huckleberry is definitely an underdog, but the name Huckleberry is so, like, fun to say. I think that's just a me thing, but that somehow makes it feel more like a fruit, even if it looks just like red and black blueberries. Into B tier you go. Gooseberries. The only reason I know what these are is because of Witcher 3. They look like grapes mixed with oranges with a pit on the inside. But you know what? They still feel like a fruit. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Cloudberry. Okay, we're just making these up at this point. Not to make two video game references in a row, but these kind of look like the infection from Hollow Knight. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't know, man. They look scrumptious, but I've never heard of them before. I'm just gonna toss them in B tier. Strawberries are weirdly named. Strawberry. There's no straw involved with the actual fruit, so I don't know why that's there. But they're also not a berry, I'm pretty sure. But here's the thing. Does that really matter? Does strawberry feel like a berry? Yeah, but I think that's only because it's named strawberry. But does it feel like a fruit? I think absolutely. In fact, I think because it feels less like a berry and more like a fruit, I feel inclined to put it in S tier. And you know what? I like it in S tier. It's the opposite of grapefruit. Grapefruit, fruit, absolutely deserving of S tier. But strawberry, despite being named two things that it isn't, has fought so hard and played the game so well that I gotta give it the respect it deserves. What an accomplished player. Strawberry is the definition of pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Blue raspberry does not exist, so I don't know why it's here. And that's it. That's the... Didn't I say there was gonna be 50 fruits? There's only 48 right now, but we've run out of room in the tiers, which means we need a new tier, but that'd have to go below F tier, and there's a bird in F tier. Introducing, for the first time ever, Super F tier. Mostly everything in this list feels more like a fruit, or less like a fruit, and more like a vegetable. Neither of these feel like a fruit or a vegetable. They're in a league of their own, and not in a good way. Beans. That's a fruit? No. In what world, in what universe, are beans a fruit? They don't even feel like a vegetable, so I don't know where to put them. I had to make a whole new tier for these. It's awful, it's terrible, and you might be thinking it can't get any worse. But let me assure you, it can. Cacao? Cacao. You're telling me that when I'm chewing on a Hershey's bar, I'm eating the product of a fruit? No, it's not. I don't care what the science says. I'm rejecting that idea. It's not a fruit. I'm not gonna stand for this. In fact, I'm gonna sit for it. So yeah, that's the video. Thank you for watching.
Looks nasty. Looks disgusting. It smells good, but the texture is just disgusting looking. It's like corn kernels. Ew. Cheers. Okay, that actually tastes really good. I just don't like the texture. Like I'm eating like, yeah, like I would love to drink like the juice. It's just that like crunching on. It's like corn kernels. Weird texture.
Butt sticks out. That looks like a butt, right? He looks like he's going into motorcycle mode, but I think that's okay. I think that's cool. It's a superpower he has. What else do I need? We have the headbutt, we have the jump, we have the walk cycle. I think we have everything. We need 7 sprites of progressive helmet damage. Okay, so first we gotta draw the helmet. Let's assume that's 0 damage, right? And then every time you headbutt, the helmet does a little bit of damage. Maybe there's straight up a chunk of it missing right there. Like, then it's a broken helmet, and then that's what I'm talking about. That's the final stage of helmet. I didn't even think about a death animation. Oh, I forgot about that. We need a death screen. Up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More of a broccoli stem than... But it's a hand. You guys know it's a glove. His death animation is going to be this. And then we just, that's gore of my lard. Yeah, that's lard gore. It's okay. And then we'll just let's make a version where when his helmet breaks, I think we can draw a whole new sprite for his suffocating head. His hair is also going to do this for some reason. So when you suffocate, you lose oxygen in your hair follicles, and this is what it looks like. It turns black and it goes like this. You guys wouldn't know, but that's what it does. and then I think this is good sprite. We're gonna export that. We're gonna export that as Death 2. That looks like the American flag. And there you go. That's the moon in the background. This game is gonna be the coolest thing anyone's ever seen. What if it's a Scottish flag? Okay. Alright, you win. Scottish flag it is. Yeah, you thought America took over the moon. No, man. I think that's fantastic. I think a world where Scotland was the first country to get to the moon is a world that I'd love to live in, and I think that's perfect for this one. Honestly, drawing all the assets for this game was way more fun than I thought it would be. I got to make all the tiles for the levels that we would design later on, and of course my favorite part, designing all the enemies. We need all the enemies that we're gonna fight. I'm thinking level 1 right off the bat, we need a Goomba-like character. Little triangle guys. They're not Goombas, they're like almost Goombas. What are we gonna call these guys? What's the name of this base enemy? We also need a death animation, which could just be a squished version. Budge? I like Budge. Budge is such a video game character name. Alright, his name is Budge. And then we're gonna make variations of Budge, because this is like the very basic one, right? Fire Budge. Now we have a Fire Budge. They don't do anything different. Push him like that. He's gonna die like this. It's gonna be dead. We're getting creative, guys. We need new enemies. What else do we got? What other enemies do we want? Guy that looks like this. Crazy, scary eyes. He's got 3 eyes and some sharp teeth. What should this guy be named, huh? This looks like a friendly little dude. What are we gonna call him? Gilbert? A Gumber. All right, Pace, you're on a roll today. Gumber is absolutely, this is called a Gumber. An evil cooking mixer. Yeah, that's a good idea. He's got bones sticking out of him. There's just bones and hair all twisted up in it. A stand mixer with AirPods. That's the enemy that we have. What's her name? Blendil? Katrina? What else should we do? How about a big pair of lips? No, says everyone collectively. But Jay ignores it. Juicy lips. Oh, God. That's honestly pretty good. But she should have eyes. This just looks like a frog now. No, you know what it should be? Now it's coming together, dude. I think that's honestly pretty good. We need a name for this fabulous creature. Miss Ma'am. If we're going for a name like Miss Ma'am, She gotta have hoops. And when Miss Ma'am dies, to that. An angry New Jersey. All right, we're drawing it. I love the idea of some of the enemies just being PNGs that I turn into monsters. Sorry, Bergen, Passaic, and Sussex County. You're gonna be a toupee. I think that looks fantastic. Dark, I don't know how we're gonna program a flying enemy, but we're gonna figure it out. He's a scary, scary flying enemy. Wheel of cheese, eyeball cluster, a Cybertruck. Can it just be a real picture of a Cybertruck? But the legs aren't the wheels. He's gonna have like Car's eyes where like the whole windshield is his eyes. And he's got one eye. And yellow eyes. I once saw a guy with yellow eyes. Oh my god. I think I see the vision, chat. And then we just follow where the art takes us, guys. I also think he should have buff arms. What do we think, guys? Cyberclops? Perfect. Yeah, it may not be a Cybertruck. When he dies, he becomes like a Ford Focus and then he crashes. Now that we have drawn pretty much all of the assets for the game, it's time to check in on S Dark Magic and see how the bones of our game are looking. Oh yeah, this game's gonna be peak. I'm not very savvy when it comes to all of this stuff. I think S-Dark was trying to explain it to me on what was actually going on with the code and everything, but it wasn't happening up here. But it didn't matter because once we actually imported the assets that I had made, we actually kind of had an idea of what this game might look like. It was incredible. Something about it was genuinely inspiring. I made that little guy. I drawn that, and now he's moving around on screen. It doesn't look complete, but it's not supposed to. We're just getting started. Of course, if you really want to bring life to a game, you need good atmosphere, and that can best be accomplished through great sound design. Walking. All I did was switch a garbage bag. Why does that actually sound good? That's pretty good. This is lard suffocating. Sounds good. Beep, 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 beep. I don't know how to simulate something dying other than make it cough. I'm a bug. Maybe that's too on the nose.
I'm a bug. Oh no!
That's what a bug sounds like when it dies. Every single one. What am I doing with my life? Oh no! Oh my god! Everyone thinks I'm insane.
Oh no! Oh my god!
Hey, where you think I'm going, eh? Yeah, that's gotta be New Jersey. Hey, what are you doing, eh? Where you think I'm going here? Hey, where you going? Hey, what are you doing, eh? Where you think I'm going here? Hey, where you going? That doesn't even sound like me anymore. Oh, hey, oh, what the f***'s going on? Oh, hey, oh, what the f***'s going on? Oh. And that is New Jersey Die.
I am the Pisonator. I piss on you.
It's probably fine.
I am the Pisonator.
Oh no! Oh no! think that's too much.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's probably good. A lot of trouble at the very end there, but I think that's good. Okay, now we need a grand display for the final boss dying. No! Oh no! I think I'm gonna be alright. No, I'm dying. That's it. I think I'm gonna be alright. Oh man, this game is gonna be great. I really think the sound effects are what make this game truly unique. I think they give it its shine. So now it's only a few weeks until the beta testers get the game, and there is still so much left to do. So I checked in on S-Dark, and it looks like the basic mechanics of the game are ready to go. So now I have the privileged job of designing the levels. I have the same philosophy when I was 15 years old building Mario Maker levels. And honestly, I think that skill kind of paid off. Basic idea is that there are these 3 planets that you need to fly between, and each one has its own unique level that you have to go through. The objective is just to get to the end. Very simple, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy all the little stuff that I snuck in there. What good are any of these levels? Heck, what good is a video game without some banger music to go with it, right? Okay, welcome to my recording studio. It's the same as everywhere else that I make videos. Today we're going to be composing the soundtrack for Lauren's Adventures. I'm very excited to do this today. Thinking we're going to go for a nice spacey main theme here, something along the lines of this. But we need it to sound a little more spacey. What the hell? Okay, wait. Maybe that's good enough. That honestly sounds good. Let's just use these. Just see what happens. Delete that, actually. I'm actually excited. I don't want that. Why does this actually sound cool? And then we least expected? Well, something like this. I'm sorry. Why is this good? One, two, three, Okay, now we need a lead to really like kick in at some point that like really dominates here. I'm just gonna freehand it. I feel like this can be escalated greatly by some strings. Why am I spending this on this game? This is so good. Am I wasting my talent? Asian synth. What the hell is that? Okay. Who made that sample? This is such a weird beat. What if we threw this in here? What would it sound like? pig. Okay, time to render this. I guess this is done. I can't believe I made a good song. What is wrong with me? I'm like kind of mad at myself for making the music of this game really good. Like I'm like genuinely proud of it, but we're just gonna have to roll with it, I guess. I guess this game has insane graphics, terrible sound effects, painful gameplay, and awesome music. This is usually how I make music, is I start with like something fun, and then the bass line, and then we need like a actual chord. So now we just take that and we make like an interesting sound out of it. We just take the sounds we made, like the signals we made, and we get interesting sounds. That's pad lead, that's why. Okay, that actually sounds awesome. I always like to add a little extra string on top there to kind of help it, to make it seem exciting.
Peak music, dude.
Kind of makes you curious, kind of makes you be like, ooh, you know? I like this, but I kind of want it to be a little more like in the background, you know? Like I feel like I want it to be a little bit deeper, kind of far away. There's probably a preset that would have helped. There we go. I like that kind of in the background, quieter now, so that we can add something on top of it. Now we need a lead of some kind to interfere with the track right now. Let's go ahead and do that. I really like the lead that I came up with before, honestly. I don't know if this is where I should be spending my most best efforts, but I'm doing it anyway. What's this sound like?
Chills, bro, chills.
Crazy, but I feel like we can add a drum beat to this.
Go. Damn, holy pig. Holy pig.
I kind of like this. I feel like we can perfect this by adding one more. Maybe this one. Yeah, that one. Exactly that one. Wait, this beat kind of makes it come back to life, dude. This is like really good as a main theme. I don't know how I cooked this, but like having the whole game have like a motif. Maybe I really like this. Maybe I want to make music. Can you imagine?
Yo.
Yeah, okay. I'm happy with what I've done today. For whatever reason tonight, randomly hitting the keyboard has worked out perfectly. So we have to come up with a level 1 melody. And level 1 is just like a happy, nice, grassy planet, right? So I need to just randomly hit the keys and hopefully something cool happens. That's too urgent. No. No, someone's using that already. Okay, I hear something. I don't know. I hope that I hear it in my head, so I hope that doesn't mean it's already a song and I'm just stealing a song. It's happened many a times before. It may be happening again. Then we just add a drum beat to level 1, whatever that's gonna sound like. Let's go for something really fun. Let's go for, I feel like I want to put reggae in it. Some fast reggae. I guess it's a summertime Target sale. The music. Come on down for the back to school sale. You can get 30% off your notebooks and pencils if you use our code. Like, no, dude, that's Target. That's not reggae, that's Target. And it's also my level 1 drum beat because that's perfect. Okay, it's BB and farty and fun, and that's exactly what I was looking for in a level 1 soundtrack. So let's keep it going. What if what if it was an harmonica? That was an idea that just came to me just then. This is so fun. Making music has never made me laugh before, but this is doing it to me somehow. I don't know why. Okay, so it turns out I had way too much fun making the music for this game, and unfortunately, I'm very proud of it. So it'll just be up on my music channel, Jay Makes Music. You can check that out. Whatever, you probably don't care about it. It's also on a bunch of streaming platforms. Who cares, right? So now we have the music, sound effects, gameplay, assets, characters, enemies, everything we need to make a good game. Now let's check on S-Dark one last time and see how our project is coming together. It's beautiful. Bard's Adventure is one of the most bizarre, awful video games I have ever played, and I am proud to say that's my fault. S-Dark put some serious work into this project, and it would not exist without her, and I'm very grateful for that. But her and I are the only people who have seen the game so far, so I think it's finally time to reveal what we've been working on for months, the beta testers. Our first beta tester is going to be Virus. He's been one of my best friends for years, and he is always honest with me when I ask for feedback about stuff. Check out his gameplay.
Oh my god, there's a cutscene? Oh my god, he's going to space! What is the budget on this? Like $1 billion? What? Oh shit! Whoa, I'm straight in the game! What's happening? What the fuck?
Okay, off to a pretty bad start. Unfortunately, Virus's game is bugged for some reason, and Lar just keeps jumping around. This is not going to look good. That's going to be very bad for the PR department. Hey, PR, how are we doing over there? Okay, you keep at it. Fortunately, Virus was able to fix his gameplay, so the game's working smoothly now.
Oh, it's working! We did it! We're playing a video game! Oh my god, I can kill it! I can actually kill the BB Beeps! I'm ready to experience peak. Hollow Knight Silk Song has prepared me for this moment. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, so Hayden was struggling a lot with the sheer difficulty of this game, but nothing was going to stop him from getting this horribly placed coin on the first level.
I don't even know if it's possible to grab them. Watch this. Yeah, let's go! They said it couldn't be done! Just go. This is all new content. Sure is a bug. That's a reference to hit game Silk Song, the game we keep talking about. Where do I go from here? Dude, what the when's the mod that makes this game easier coming out? Is that a coffee maker? Get away from me. Oh, wait, get under it. No. What the fuck? Why does everything latch onto you like this? The rocket, let's go!
So far, I think he's really enjoying this game. It's taken him a lot longer to beat level 1 than I was anticipating, but he's already on level 2.
Whoa. What the fuck? Evil Tesla's on the sand! Oh god, oh no, this is bad. It's gonna jump around my head, isn't it? I'm so scared. Motherfucker, you waited for me. Why is there a Scottish flag on the moon? Why is there a Scottish flag on the moon? Hey, what are you doing? No! Moon jump. Where am I going?
Okay, I'll be the first to admit this game is not completely polished, but hopefully you can look past that as you get immersed in the final level, the synthetic planet.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! The final level! Right, let's dance. That's a trap. Don't believe that for a second. My hubris. I thought I could game the system, but instead the system gamed me.
That sounded like he was in
No, please! I had no choice! You wouldn't unhand me! I wanted to let you live! No way! Oh my god! I jump on your head. Damn it. Do I have to replay the whole thing? Oh my god, this game has checkpoints. 10 out of 10, actually. Oh, I can skip it. Oh no, what have I done? Oh. Did I do it? Wait, am I won?
Yeah, so this game is very much not polished. Somehow Hayden glitched out the final boss fight where it's supposed to just waste your time, and he just jumped over him and skipped right to the rocket, missing the whole death animation. I don't even know how he did that. But fair is fair, he beat the game, and now we have some notes for our next patch. Let's move on.
I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna be the first person ever to speedrun Lacard's Adventure.
Morph had me worried because he wanted to speedrun the game right out the gate, but I'm hoping that he'll actually stop and smell the roses along the way.
I want this Euro. It's in a weird... I killed him!
The evil coin strikes again. No, I'm not patching that out.
And also, I don't think I lost a life. It still says 7 astronaut helmets. Did he just fucking... He just finish? What the hell was that sound? Easy dub, over the flower, onto the platform. Where do we go from here? I have no... Why did I press down? All I had to do was wait. God, is there a checkpoint anywhere in this game?
No. There's no checkpoints. See, here at Neversoft, we believe that dying in a video game should be just as consequential as dying in real life. You're lucky I didn't program a life insurance policy into this game. That would be a time waster.
I don't think we can kill fire. That's gotta be the end of the level. That's gotta be the end. Let's go! And we only died 18 times. That's not that bad. Is that a Tesla? Is that a Cybertruck? They killed themselves. Nature is healing. Oh my God. Mrs. Lips, what are you doing here? God, I used to dream about her in the 3rd grade. I never thought she'd come back to me like this. Every enemy makes me feel like I'm a nightmare. Why is the ant flying? He's hitting the gritty. This has got to be the end of the level, right? It's gotta be. There we go. That's level 2, baby.
I have to admit, Morph's speedrun is going really well. If he keeps this up, he might actually get through the last level faster than anyone else so far.
Do you think that, like, this is an elaborate, like, scheme and, like, it's really a way for Jmoji to give back to his friends, and however much euros I get in-game right now, he's gonna give to me in real life as compensation for making me play this?
No.
That'd be really cool. What even the fuck are you? He's pissing on me! What is he doing? I've been running in this level for so long. Oh, shit! It's, Todd. It's not Bowser, if you're wondering. Okay, I've got 1 HP. Can we make this quick? Do I need to, like... Oh, I used my last headbutt. No. Here we go. We've made it to Todd. How do we make it past Todd? If I just jump up here and then... Oh, I can just jump over him. He doesn't physically do damage. Okay, bye, Todd. Bye-bye. Thanks for being here, Todd. We love you and we miss you. I hope you get that cough sorted out.
Well, once again, the final boss that I spent so long making was just skipped over. I am starting to think that nobody's actually going to experience the game the way it was intended. Hopefully the next playthrough doesn't have any glitches.
Lard's Adventure? No friggin' way. Is this Lard? Dude, he's so cool. What a good character design. He's so perplexed. He's so shocked. He's like, oh, I like this. This reminds me of being like browsing Newgrounds in 2005. Neversoft, always hard, baby. Yeah, just like how Jay likes it, bro. That's what's up. Oh, shit, we're in. God, dude, Lard's got hops. Oh. Okay, so Lard's bow of respect is what kills people. Me. I love me. I press shift. You see, Jay didn't tell me this would be one of the hardest games in the entire world. That's the problem. He said, like, feel free to, you know, have fun, have some raffles, have some lulls. He didn't tell me I needed to fucking lock in. All right, that guy hurts me. Was that timer? What is that number up there? Oh, I just realized there's a...
So far, Don's playthrough is flawless. The game is working just as intended, and he's picking up the mechanics pretty well. I think we might have a really good run on our hands.
You silly Billy. All right. So there's no iframes! This is the worst run ever. Dude, I'm gonna edit this out. I'm gonna edit my own footage. Who the hell was Lard? Yeah, you are a bug, Mr. Man. level. It's real. Yes, I am the greatest larder.
This is probably the most fun anyone has had in this game so far. I really hope he enjoys the details on level 2.
Yeah. Oh, look. Dude, Lord, are you drunk? Oh, what is that? What is that? You see, they don't talk about the risk versus reward gameplay of Lard. You know, every attack that you. What the fuck is that? It's Lard's ex-wife. She wants the alimony. What is that? Hey, where do you think I'm going here? An Italian? Oh, all right. So that's. Yeah, you are. Shut up! This game's making me mad. Everyone's get out of my head! I'm taking my earbuds out. There's too many things fucking talking to me right now.
Okay, so maybe I got a little carried away with the enemies and the sound effects in this game, but if people can play Dark Souls 2, they can play my game.
I love the coughing. All right, the coughing's good. I want to make a tier list of... That just wasn't my fault! A lot of game reviewers out there like to give the Lard devs a lot of smack. And you know what? Well, how many games have you made? You know, at least they went out there and did it. You know, at least they put their first foot forward, their best foot and their first foot. They put feet. They put their best foot forward and they made something. What have you done with your life, you know? Live, laugh, Lard. That's what I always say. I pressed the space bar! Stop it, please stop. Leave me alone. I know you're a bug, I know.
I'm starting to feel bad. Maybe I threw too much at Don here. I mean, he's a tough guy, though. He's getting through it. He's gonna make his way to level 3.
This gotta be the ending, bro.
Oh! Oh my god!
After like 80, yeah, now we're in the Techno planet, baby. My favorite planet in the solar system. Lard crashes again. Dude, what the hell? Relax. It's been 2 seconds, man. That's bait. That's bait. I don't trust the coins no more. But then again, have you seen Rent in LA? Yeah, we go for these. Excuse me? Oh, is that piss? Bro, they didn't tell me piss is in this game. I'm sorry, I slipped. I didn't mean it. It was an accident. No one will ever know. I'm kind of balling like Jordan right now. Wait a minute. No! Every time I feel warmth. Oh, we reached like a checkpoint. Okay, those exist now. That's awesome. You know what's crazy is the way this game changes you. Like, I can't remember a time in my life where I wasn't playing this game. I think I'm going to divide my life into 2 sections, before and after Lard.
This run has been great so far. The game has been working completely as intended. Don's having fun, I think. Hopefully the boss fight actually works for him this time.
Don't hiss at me, rat. Oh no! I hate his muscles so much. It's just all bicep, nothing else. All right, here's where I die. Is this like a Mario situation? I'm gonna jump on him. That sounds good. Take a cough drop, man. the VA's had a cold all day during this. Oh, I missed what he said. Yeah, get bodied, idiot. I'm teabagging. Later, ho! Larding around at the speed of Lord. Yeah, we did all the day's work, baby. Again with the explosion, man. Game of the year. You know, I'll give it like an 8. I gave it like an 8 out of 10. I thought the story was kind of weak. Overall, gameplay was very solid. I like the controls. I think the best thing about Lard's Adventure is it rewards good players for being good. You know, and I like that a lot.
Our first flawless playthrough of the game, and we got a solid review at the end. Thank you for your feedback, Don. We continue on.
I'm liking the soundtrack. It feels very J-Moji. Is that a Goomba? Is that...
Asian.
Oh, I jumped so high. Oh, yeah, that's the pack. I got it. Okay, I got it now. Y'all ready for this? Okay, I'm not gonna be greedy. I'm just gonna... I'm not... It's like I'm playing Silk Song again, guys.
I'm noticing a lot of people comparing my game to Silk Song, which I thought was the band that Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak started together. But my team has actually informed me that it was another long-awaited game platformer that came out around the same time. But it looks like I made the better game based around the reviews so far.
This is like... I feel like I'm playing Baldi's Basics. Oh, no.
What the fuck's going on?
I did it. Oh, let's go. I'm stressed. I've never been more stressed playing a video game in my entire life.
Milana's playthrough was pretty flawless. The game was completely smooth all the way through, and the boss fight didn't even glitch out. So she was able to experience all the perfectly executed moments that set this game apart from the others.
You win, congrats.
The next beta tester is another one of my best friends. He's been by my side for years and has always supported my content and everything I've done, and has encouraged me at times when I doubted myself and my work. I really hope he enjoys and thoroughly appreciates all of the work that went into this game.
God, this looks like shit. Or let's put it doesn't even fucking work. We'll just see how cool creating is. Oh, it doesn't let me. Okay, we're in it. Jesus Christ. Hey. If you got an idea in your head, complex, simple, keep it in there. No one wants to fucking see it. Don't create. It'll be bad anyways. Maybe you should quit while you're behind, because you'll never get ahead. Don't fucking try. Don't fucking talk to me. You're a creep. I don't like you. Stay away from me. Stay away from my family. You delete this shit and don't ever come back.
Okay, so Dan's having a little bit of a rough time with this game, but he's getting to the good part. So maybe, you know, maybe things will smooth it out a little bit.
All right, let's actually try to beat this now. No one loves you. This music is so fucking funny. Except for that guy, except for the flying dude. They say if you try, you'll get better. Nope, we gotta beat this level, dog. I love Bug. Good voice acting. Good voice acting. That's the only thing I can say about this. You have one good trait, and you let it get to your head. Don't ever try to improve. It's not worth your time.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, at least he likes the voice acting. I was pretty proud of that, but there's other parts of the game that are good. Well, we'll see how he likes the next level.
To the end of the level? Love yourself. Love yourself. You matter in this world. Everything you do matters.
Yay!
No one can take anything away. Is there another fucking level? Just when you think you succeed, remember, you could still fail. You probably will. Hey, Dan, that was on you. 2 Teslas exploded on me and I died. What? What do you mean? You guys are gonna love when I start playing Silk Song again. You're also right, by the way. You're also right.
I don't know why people keep comparing my game to Silk Song. I mean, I'm just grateful that people are mentioning my game with other great games, but I just hope that Dan comes around to good old Lars Adventure and has a good time.
What the fuck? I can't. I'm trying to jump. I'm not gonna do the fucking zoom in every. I can't do it every time. It's exhausting me. I can't do it literally every single time. That's just a fucking joke. I hate you. All right, we continue onwards. Hold on. Fall over here. Ah! Ah! I don't want to play another world of this. I'm gonna be so real. I remember you have to jump first. Don't know where I am. I'm in hell. The world is hell. Unless. That's what it's all about, baby.
See, I knew Dan would love this game. I sure hope he doesn't fall for the fake out that everybody else fell for on level 3.
That's definitely a Jake. That's a kill trap. That's a kill trap. I've never been right about anything. I don't think I ever will be right about anything. Because whenever I think I have the advantage, I'm wrong. And I'm fucked. Bowser! Is that me? Did he just make me? The fuck? Okay, I get it. He laughs. Can't move. I cannot move. Where am I? What the fuck happened? You okay? Is he just gonna die of unrelated incidents? Oh, he wasn't all right.
Once again, the boss fight has glitched out and let me down, but hopefully that doesn't affect the way that Dan sees me or this game.
Shout out to S-Dark Magic for the backbone of that project. Thank you, J-Moji, for all the shit that was bad.
Next up, we have Light Laser. He's been my friend since high school. This guy is a real one. He's always honest with his feedback. He's always real.
Shit, 9 minutes.